Welcome to the Certified in Cybersecurity course. In this module, we will cover the main one, which is security principles. This module is designed to provide you with an understanding of the security concepts of information assurance, including confidentiality, integrity, availability, authentication, non-repudiation, and privacy. Let's start by talking about the concept of confidentiality. Confidentiality refers to the protection of sensitive information from unauthorized access or disclosure. Let me explain further by giving an example. When you send an email, you expect that only the intended recipient will be able to read the message. So, in order to ensure confidentiality, you may use encryption to scramble the message so that it can only be read by someone who has the decryption key. The next security concept that we will discuss about is integrity. Integrity refers to the accuracy and completeness of information. When information is altered or modified without authorization, it can compromise its integrity. For example, if a hacker gains access to a database and changes the values of some fields, it can lead to incorrect results or even system failure. To maintain integrity, organizations use various methods such as digital signatures, access controls, and checksums so that no unauthorized modifications can take place. Availability is another important security concept that you should know. Availability refers to the ability of a system or service to be accessible and functioning when needed. For example, if a website is down, customers will not be able to access the information or services they need. To ensure availability, organizations use redundancy, failover, and backup systems. Next topic is authentication. Authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user or system. There are various methods of authentication, including passwords, biometrics, and security tokens. Multi-factor authentication is a technique that uses more than one method of authentication to increase security. For example, a system may require a password and a fingerprint scan to verify the identity of a user. Non-repudiation refers to the ability to prove that a particular action or transaction was performed by a specific user. For example, if a user sends an email, non-repudiation ensures that the user cannot later deny having sent the email. Non-repudiation is achieved using digital signatures and audit logs. Finally, let's talk about privacy. Privacy refers to the protection of personal information from unauthorized access or use. For example, when you provide your name and address to a website, you expect that the information will not be shared with third parties without your consent. To protect privacy, organizations use various methods such as access controls, data encryption, and privacy policies. In conclusion, understanding these security concepts of information assurance is critical to ensuring the security of information and systems. It's important to familiarize yourself with these concepts and understand their relevance in the field of cybersecurity. Next, we will cover the topic of risk management. This module is designed to provide you with an understanding of the risk management process, including risk priorities, risk tolerance, and risk identification, assessment, and treatment. Let's start with an overview of risk management. Risk management is the process of identifying, assessing, and prioritizing risks and taking steps to mitigate or reduce those risks to an acceptable level. Risks can come from a variety of sources, including cyber threats, human error, and natural disasters. One of the key aspects of risk management is identifying and prioritizing risks. This involves assessing the likelihood and potential impact of different types of risks. For example, a cyber attack that could compromise sensitive customer data would be considered a high-risk event. Another important aspect of risk management is risk tolerance. Risk tolerance is the level of risk that an organization is willing to accept. This can vary depending on a number of factors, such as the organization's goals, the nature of the business, and regulatory requirements. For example, a financial institution may have a low risk tolerance due to the potential impact of a security breach on its customers and reputation. Once risks have been identified and prioritized, the next step is to assess and treat them. Risk assessment involves evaluating the likelihood and potential impact of risks and determining the appropriate response. Risk treatment involves taking steps to mitigate or reduce the risks to an acceptable level. This can involve implementing security controls, creating backup systems, and developing incident response plans. For example, if an organization identifies a risk of a cyber attack, it may implement security controls such as firewalls and intrusion detection systems to mitigate the risk. It may also develop an incident response plan that outlines the steps to be taken in the event of a security breach. In conclusion, understanding the risk management process is critical to ensuring the security of information and systems. It's important to familiarize yourself with the different aspects of risk management, including risk priorities, risk tolerance, and risk identification, assessment, and treatment. Next, we are going to discuss implementation of security controls. One of the key aspects of cybersecurity is the implementation of security controls. Security controls are safeguards or countermeasures that are put in place to protect information and systems from various types of threats. Let's start with technical controls. Technical controls are security measures that are implemented through technology. Examples of technical controls include firewalls, intrusion detection systems, encryption, access controls, and antivirus software. These controls are designed to prevent, detect, or respond to security threats. Administrative controls, on the other hand, are security measures that are implemented through policies, procedures, and training. Examples of administrative controls include security policies, access controls, training and awareness programs, and background checks. These controls are designed to ensure that employees understand their roles and responsibilities in maintaining the security of information and systems. Lastly, physical controls are security measures that are implemented through the physical environment. Examples of physical controls include locks, cameras, biometric scanners, and fencing. These controls are designed to prevent unauthorized access to physical assets and protect them from damage or theft. In conclusion, security controls are a critical component of cybersecurity. By implementing technical, administrative, and physical controls, organizations can reduce their risk of security breaches and protect their information and systems. It's important to familiarize yourself with the different types of security controls and their importance in cybersecurity.